Good morning, federal employees. Welcome back to another great episode with me, your host, and my name is Dallen. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. And if you have watched a number of my videos and a number of my podcasts and you haven't subscribed yet, come on, what are you waiting for? Because this is where we go deep into your retirement plan to make sure that you're set up for the future. So, without further ado, let's jump right in to today's topic. And that is for those that feel like they may be a little bit behind. Those that feel like maybe they didn't get as early of a start in planning for retirement as they would have liked, right? And let me tell you a little secret. Most people feel this way, okay? Most people I talk to say, hey, wow, I wish I would have started earlier. Man, I wish I would have done this, I would have done that. I wish I would have known this. We all have those things. We all wish we would have started earlier, known things earlier, all sorts of things. But today we're going to talk about a number of things that you can do if you feel this way. You say, hey, I wish I would have started earlier, but here are some things that you can do today to get you on the right track so that you can retire how you want to retire. So let's jump right in. And the first thing that all of us should do, okay, regardless of how close you are to retirement, but especially as you get close to retirement, you have to figure out your high interest debt, okay? You have to get this under control because high interest debt is generally credit cards or other loans that are high interest, meaning the terms were not favorable for you, right? Which means your credit, at least when you took the loan for whatever reason, might not have been good, or a number of things, right? So you have to get that sort of debt under control. First, you have to get it paid off, right? That's number one. Get high interest debt paid off and taken care of. Attack it, okay? No excuses. Obviously, there are some circumstances where people just had a rough time, and I'm sorry if that is you, but you have to face it. People face problems in lots of different ways. Some people, when the dragons of life come up, they turn around and they fight and they face their dragons. Others run. And when it comes to high interest debt, you can't run. You can't run. You have to turn around. You have to face that dragon and take care of it. Okay, that's number one. You have to get that paid off. Second, if you do have credit card debt, if you have these things, they're often indicators of underlying problems. For example, spending beyond your means. And if that's true, you have to face that as well. You have to get your spending in check so that first you can go on and do things like plan for retirement and plan for other goals. But if you can't figure out your credit card debt or your spending, that's the first step. You have to get those things first before you can move on to some higher level financial goals. Get those things taken care of. Face it. Okay. Once you have that taken care of, you have to think about investing more. And the government, they say, hey, we understand that as people get older, as they approach retirement, some people really want to catch up for lost time. And that is why the government has catch-up contributions, right? If you know, probably if you're 50 or over, age 50 or over, they allow you to invest more in the TSP, right? In 2021, the year that I'm recording this, you can put $19,500 into the TSP for every employee, right? Every year. But if you are age 50 or older, you can put an extra $6,500 into the TSP for a total of $26,000 every year, okay? So that is $6,500 extra that you can put into your TSP for being a little older. So if that's you, if you're coming up to age 50, try to get your budget in check so that you can put extra in. And if you're saying, hey, wow, I can't even get close to that maximum, what should I do? Well, just do the best you can. Take whatever you're doing and next year try to ramp it up a little bit. Do a little better. Maybe, let's say there's a pay raise. Maybe there's a step increase, something. Take some of that and put it away for your retirement. You have to, especially as you get closer, you have to do a little more every time. I don't always think huge improvements are always the best solution because sometimes it can stretch us too thin. But small improvements consistently over the course of years make a tremendous difference, okay? And I didn't mention this, but IRAs also have a catch-up contribution of $1,000. So right now in 2021, the limit is $6,000 that you can invest every year. But if you're age 50 or over, you can invest $7,000. So it's a little extra bonus as well. But again, for IRAs, there's often some earning limits where for traditional IRAs, if you earn too much, you can't deduct your contributions. And if you earn too much for a Roth IRA, you just can't put money into a Roth IRA, at least directly. You can't do backdoor Roth IRAs, but that's a conversation for another day. Okay, so that is the second thing that you definitely want to take seriously is invest more. Take it seriously and do a little bit better every single year. Okay, the next thing that this is more of a don't do kind of thing, and this is don't invest in extremes, okay? Many people I talk to, especially if they feel like they're behind the 8 ball, if they feel that they are behind in planning for retirement, they often invest in extremes, either extremely aggressively or extremely conservatively, okay? And the people that invest extremely aggressively, they say, hey, I'm trying to make up for lost time. I need growth to make up for the time that I lost and didn't invest earlier like I should have, okay? But then those that invest very conservatively, they say, hey, I should have invested earlier, but I don't have the time anymore to make up for losses. I can't afford to lose a single dime. So they invest extremely conservatively. And the truth is, a better and more appropriate and more effective strategy is to find a happy medium, where a strategy that makes sense for their age, their retirement plans, and not be super conservative, where you're not going to get a lot of growth, right? Or not be too aggressive, where you're really exposing yourself to more risk than you probably should, right? There's a happy medium that makes sense for you. Even if you had a late start, you have to find a strategy that is a good happy medium for your situation. You don't want to make rash decisions just because you feel like you're behind. So that's number 3. Number 4 is that you have to prioritize planning for your retirement and saving for your retirement. Many people I talk to aren't just lazy when it comes to planning for retirement. That's why they're behind. Often there's other priorities, right? Maybe they want to, let's say, pay off their house, or maybe they want to pay for kids' college. This is a very, very common one, where parents often push off their own retirement plans and retirement goals and retirement savings because they're paying for their kids' college. And I think that's a great thing. I have nothing against paying for kids' college if parents want to do that, right? My only thing is I would be careful to completely sacrifice your retirement plans, your retirement goals to pay for your kids' college. First, what message does that send to the kids, right? Second, when it comes to paying for college, there's lots of options. There's scholarships, there's grants, there's loans, there's lots of options. And the earning power of your kids is often a lot higher than yours because they have years and years and years of higher earning power because of their degree, right? But when it comes to retirement, there are far fewer options and far less time for you to prepare. So while I'm not opposed to helping kids pay for college, but I am opposed to sacrificing completely your retirement plans to do that, right? Maybe find a balanced approach, or maybe find a different way to help them finance their college, right? There's lots of different ways to think about it, and obviously it's got to make sense for you, your family, your kids, all that good stuff. But definitely don't do it blindly. Don't sacrifice your retirement goals blindly. Definitely know what you're getting into and what you're trading, what the trade-off is when making that decision. So those are 3 or 4 things that you should do or don't do when you feel like you're a little behind when it comes to planning for retirement. So, like always, don't get discouraged. We all wish that we had saved more in the past. We all wish we would have known certain things in the past. And I've said this quote so many times on this channel that I probably have forgotten how many times. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, right? But the second best time is now. And if we get all caught up about how we didn't plant that tree 20 years ago, we make no progress, right? The only time we make progress is by taking action now. Because what we do now will affect our future if we do something, right? We have to face the dragons now. We have to do the things that we know we need to do consistently. And before you know it, things will improve. Before you know it, you'll be more and more prepared for retirement to have the retirement that you want. So, with that being said, have an incredible week. Make it a great week, and I'll see you next time.